Today, we are going to talk about why your manifestation is not working. So, if you are someone who feels like you've been doing all of the manifestation things, you've been doing the 555 method and all of the crazy ass methods that they have across YouTube and TikTok and all of these places, you're journaling, you're doing affirmations, you're doing your I am affirmations, you're visualizing the shit out of your life, you are meditating every damn day, you're making the vision board, you're trying to shift your mindset, you're trying to do all of these things, you're trying to raise your vibration, trying to raise your frequency. Everything that everybody literally tells you to do, you have done at one point in time. And yet you still sit here thinking, where the hell is it? Where is it? Everybody said this would work and this would work and this would work. And I've done all of those things and more all at the same time because I'm a boss bitch, like multitasker. I've done all of these things and yet it's still not here. Inevitably, something must be wrong with me. Where is my manifestation? Did it just like fly off in the air? Did it just go to someone else? Am I just not good enough to receive it? Was it not meant for me? Like, where's the money? Where's the business growth? Where is this like hot relationship that I want? Where is my confidence? Where is the life that I said that I wanted? They said that if I did XYZ, it would be here, and it's still not here. If that is you, you're in the right place. If you have said any of those things, if you're like, okay, I feel like you just read my mind, you're in the right place because I today am going to be talking about what I believe could be the missing piece and what was the missing piece in my life and something that I'm now incorporating more and more of in my life. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, hello, friend. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Paige Harper. You are now listening to the Identity Glow Up podcast. So, welcome. This podcast is all about how to learn how to level up your life, upgrade your identity, grow your confidence, be the boss bitch that you know you're meant to be, and learn how to mix this like spiritual feminine vibe with the masculine like hustle bro energy to be able to make this perfect, I hate the word balance, but we're going to use it, this perfect balance, this perfect harmony. Let's use harmony. Harmony sounds better. This perfect harmony of being who you know you're meant to be while also taking the actions that will get you there. So if that's you, again, you're in the right place. And as I said, my name is Paige. I am a master certified life and mindset coach. And what I do within this podcast and also within just my normal life, my business, I guess, more so than my life, my normal business is I help ambitious women align with who they were created to be, who they were put on this planet to be. So align to that version of themselves and then attract the life that they were meant to live with the money and the success and the abundance and the love and all of these things, but do so with ease and with joy and with fun to just live the most iconic and amazing life possible. Because, yeah, I think that we all deserve that. But let's go back into the main topic of all of these things, which is why aren't these things working for me? Why am I not able to manifest this amazing life, this amazing business, the money, and all of that? What is that missing piece? And it's not, for me, it's not another manifestation technique. It's not another thing that you can scroll TikTok and find just some other thing where you write something on not on your pillow, you write something on like a piece of paper and you put it under your pillow, or you write something on something and you throw it in the fire and be like, be gone. Like it's not that. The thing that you're missing is true embodiment. Is true embodiment. And the thing is I feel like embodiment is multiple different things, one of which is identity. You need to understand identity and then embody that identity by taking aligned action that aligns with who you are becoming, aligns with who this next level version of you, this best version of you, this amazing boss bitch version of you is, who is already inside of you, by the way. She's already inside of you. That person that you desire to be, she's there. She's just waiting for you to recognize her. She's waiting for you to start stepping the F up and doing the things that she would do, not just in the actions, but in the beliefs and the mindset and the frequency and the embodiment and like the loving yourself. She's just waiting. Like, hey girl, you ready yet? Because like I've been ready for the last like 5 years, 10 years. Like I've been ready, right? Because you can spend all day visualizing your new reality and like visualizing and meditating and all of that. I'm not shitting on it because I think it's amazing, but you can spend all day doing that. But if you're continuing after that visualization is done, after that meditation is done, if you are continuing to think and to choose and to react and to act like the version of you that you've always been, the version of you that created the reality that you have right now, you're going to keep reinforcing that same reality. You're going to continue to live the same life over and over and over again. You know those days when you wake up and it's just like, it's just another day. It's just another day. I'm going to do the same damn thing I did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. No wonder we are so stressed and so like blah and so drained by the end of the day because we're not living up to our true purpose because we don't think we can because we're not embodying who we're truly meant to be. And I think this is where manifestation as a whole gets so misunderstood because we think it's this like woo woo, like, hey, I want this. Poof, oh, thanks, magic thing. You gave it to me. Like, it doesn't just work like that. There are things, there are steps that we need to embody, right? There are like, you actually, or you need to do. And one of those things is that embodiment. Like, you don't become this next level version of you, this like higher best version of you, this version of you that you were always meant to be, you don't become her after you get the thing. You don't become rich just because you made the money. You become the rich bitch inside first. And then that's how you make the money because you believe it's coming to you, because you believe that it's possible, because you believe that you are someone that is wealthy and that always has wealth, always has money, like coming to her, going in circulation to her all the time, no matter what. That's what you believe. And so, of course, it's going to come to you. Why wouldn't it in that case? You're not chasing after it anymore. You just know it's coming after you. You're not the chaser, you're the chasee, right? And so you don't become her after you get the thing. You become her before you get the thing. So we really need to learn how to become her. What does that mean? We need to upgrade our identity, meaning we need to figure out who the hell we are right now in this very moment, why we are continuing to create the same damn results over and over and over again. Figure out who we want to be, who we are destined to become, and then fill in the missing piece. Fill in that gap. There are so many women that are in this like messy middle identity gap and they don't even know it. They just don't believe that they're worthy of becoming their next level self because they haven't gotten there yet. But in reality, they're just sitting the fence between the old identity and the new identity, wondering why they're in so much pain. It's because you're sitting on a damn fence, girl. Fence, girl. Like you're sitting on the fence. We have to learn who we are and why we are creating the results we're creating right now. And that's because of our thoughts. It's not just our actions. It's because of our thoughts, our beliefs, and who we genuinely think we are. Because two people can take the same action and get two completely different results based off of their identity, based off of who they are and who they know they're meant to be, who they are right now, and what they're capable of. And so one of the books I've been reading recently, because I'm still reading almost every day. I mean, I'm reading every day, but my personal development books, I'm reading almost every day, even after 75 Hard, which just ended a week and a half ago. And the book that I'm reading right now is The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So it's not The Secret, it's The Greatest Secret. And essentially it's all about awareness. It's all about awareness of who you are. Like you are awareness. It's very in depth. It's kind of confusing, but it's a very good book so far if you're interested in that kind of thing. But one of the things that she said, she has, just like in The Secret, if you've read it, there's all these quotes that pop up, right? And it's quotes from different people. So the book is made up of things that she has to say as the author, as well as quotes from other people, whether directly from like to put into this book or from another book or something like that, right? And so one of the quotes was actually from her coach, who she doesn't name in the book. I don't know who it is off the top of my head. I think she eventually names her in a podcast or something, but the quote was, I'm going to read it. There's a fork in every moment. To be what you are or what you are not. You're choosing in every second. There's a fork in every moment. To be what you are and to be what you are not. And you're choosing every second. And you're choosing based off of, the way that I interpret this is like, you're choosing based off of the identity. You ultimately get to choose who you are, honestly, in every second of every day. You could be a brand new bitch 5 minutes from now if you want to. Every second of every day, you are choosing. Like this is something I had to learn. Like when you have a bad day with your kids or when something happens and like they're just getting on your last freaking nerve, right? Your last freaking nerve. And don't lie, they do. They do. They're kids. They do. You can be the perfect mom and still have your kids drive you batshit crazy. Your kids are getting on your last nerve and you have been yelling all day long. What do? Do you continue to yell all day long because you've done it anyway, might as well keep going? Or do you sit and you redirect and be like, that's not who I'm wanting to be? That's not who I want to be. I don't want to be the mom that yells all the time. And therefore, I'm going to sit my kids down. I'm going to be like, listen, we've had a really hard day. It's been a rough day. There's been a lot of yelling. I apologize for my yelling. And we're going to move forward and we're going to do things differently and we're going to have fun the rest of the day. You ready? And this is a real example. These are things that I have done with my own children because that is not who I want to be. I don't want to be a mom that yells all the time. Am I perfect? No. Do I yell? Sometimes. But I can now realize that that's not the identity that I want to embody. And I get to choose, even if it was the shittiest day ever at the beginning of the day, I get to choose to shift it, not just based on the actions that I take, but based off of who I believe that I am and the identity that I'm embodying. So it's about choosing and deciding what identity you want to have. There's that fork in the road. And this isn't just obviously the parent example is one example, but like you get to choose. Are you going to go down this identity path or this identity path? In that fork in the road, I want you to imagine if you're not watching on YouTube where I'm putting my hands up in the air and waving them around right now, like I just don't care. Like imagine a fork in the road. You can go one direction, you can go the other direction. You ultimately get to decide. And there's going to be so many different things like along your path. Your path is not going to be a straight path. It is going to be a path that's going to lead you in many forks in the road all the freaking time. And you have to continue to decide over and over and over again, especially in the beginning of your journey. You have to continue to decide until this is normal for you to go down this path of the new identity. You have to continue to decide to show up as her all the time. And there's going to be F ups. There's going to be times that you don't do that. And that's when you don't fault yourself. Just the next time you have the chance in like 10 seconds, you get to decide to go down the path of the new identity again. You get to forgive yourself for for doing the things that you didn't want to do. You get to forgive yourself and you get to move the F on and decide that you're becoming someone brand new. You get to do that. So I think that this quote of there's a fork in every moment to be what you are or what you are not, you're choosing in every second. It's so freaking powerful. It's so powerful in the way that you look at identity because we almost look at becoming this next level version of us as so complicated. And the thing is, like I said earlier, she's in you now. That version of you is there now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to picture it at all. We're making this so complicated. We think it's this big, giant transformation that's going to happen someday. Poof, one day we're going to wake up and we're automatically going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to make $1 million today. It doesn't work that way. We choose to be her over and over and over again, right? And so in our brains, it's like, okay, well, when I make the money, I'm going to be confident. And when I'm confident, I'll make more money. No, like, yeah, but no, like you also have to be confident first. You also have to be the identity of someone who makes money. Same thing about losing weight. Once I lose the weight, I'll feel comfortable in my body or I'll feel good in my body again. How about we feel good in our body first? So then that way the feeling good in your body lasts long term, no matter what you look like or the weight that you got off or whatever. You just love who you are because you're damn perfect in your higher power's eyes, right? We have to stop thinking backwards. We have to stop thinking that we get the external thing and then we become the woman. We become the woman, THE, capital THE. Like we become that woman, her, that girl, by just choosing to be her. Stop allowing like these external validations be the thing that's determining who you are and what you're capable of. I just had a conversation earlier today with, I'm a support coach for another group, and we were talking, and it was so much like it just came to my brain like we have to stop looking for this external validation. We need to be giving validation like internally within ourselves, that we know who we are, that we know what we're capable of, that we know everything that we want is possible. That's the validation that matters most. That's the validation. The validation of these external, like, did enough people like my stuff? Did enough people buy my stuff? Did enough people like say this or that about me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, did I make the money? That external validation is just dopamine hits. You need to be allowing yourself to be internally validated no matter what, because you know you are her and you're practicing her all day long. You become this woman that you want to become. You become her, and your external reality begins to reflect her. Not just because of the actions that she takes, but because of what she believes, because of who she knows she is, because of what she's confident about. She's confident in her ability to be, like, continue to be her. And then being able to embody her by the actions that she's taking, not just taking actions to get to like check a box off of something, which I know is what we're all used to, but actually becoming her and doing the things that your next level version of you would do just because that seems like the next logical choice. And our brain is maybe not always going to give us the next logical choice, but, and I don't even know if I like the word logical there, but the next choice. We will have intuitive hits. Once we decide who we're becoming, we're going to have intuitive hits. And a lot of the times, our intuitive hits are hide, don't do that. You're too scared. And well, we think it's intuitive hits. It's probably more ego hits because that's we're taking actions and we're doing things out of the identity of someone who can't create what you desire. And we do it on accident. But we need to, that's where that awareness piece comes in. We really need to become aware of who we are right now so that way we can become who we want to become. And we can fill in that quote unquote messy middle, that identity gap that so many of us have. And instead of going out there and like working our ass off and hustling our ass off for no reason, we're actually doing things out of embodiment and hell, maybe even doing less work and making more freaking money. That's how we do that, right? We get to practice this all day long. We get to practice this. We get to imagine our next level life and we get to be her. One of my favorite quote, I don't know if it's even a quote, but one of my favorite things that Rhonda Byrne has said, and I've talked about this before, who's the author of The Secret, is that we need to be putting on an Oscar-worthy performance. How's your Oscar-worthy performance going? Are you playing the victim? Are you playing the person who doesn't get what she wants? Or are you playing the boss bitch that gets everything that she wants and more, goes through trials and tribulations, goes through all of these things that everyone will do in a human body? But yet you still make it out on the other end even better than before. You hit the jackpot at the end. You get the relationship at the end. What Oscar-worthy performance are you putting on right now? Because more often than not, like we all know what story. And when we watch a movie or when we read a book, I actually read a book recently. It was called The Shippers by something Center, Catherine Center. I'm totally, don't come after me if you're a book girly. I'm so sorry. I'm just now getting into becoming a book girly, okay? But I read The Shippers, and she literally had as like the prologue or whatever at the very beginning, like an author's note that said, like, hey, by the way, this is going to end in they fall in love. Heads up. That's what we need to be having. We need to have that in our own identity where it's like, hey, by the way, your story, your story is going to end with you being a freaking millionaire and you changing so many lives. Just by the way, this is what's happening. But that's not how we're looking at it. We're looking at it as like, oh, hey, by the way, your story is going to end by you being disappointed because that's how you've always been. You've been disappointed over and over again. So just get ready to be disappointed no matter what actions you take. You may feel a high in the middle there. You may get that dopamine hit, but guess what? You're going to feel disappointed. So just get ready. That's what we're doing to ourselves when we're not choosing to be this next level identity, when we're not choosing to become and like act as if we are already this version of ourselves, embodying this version of ourselves that we want to be so freaking bad because it was put on our heart to be so. Okay. You have an opportunity to make a decision that your old identity would make or like would not make, right? You have both. You have an opportunity now to make a decision that your old identity would make, or you have the opportunity to have like make a decision that your next level boss bitch, higher self, best self version of you would make. You get the opportunity every single second. You get that opportunity. You get the opportunity to respond to someone or respond to life, react to life, respond from fear or respond from trust in who you are and who you're becoming. You get the opportunity to abandon yourself or you get the opportunity to choose yourself. You get those opportunities every single second of every single day. You get the opportunity to look at the evidence that you have in front of you, which honestly is just a manifestation of what has happened in the past. So it's really just the past that's sitting in front of you. You have the opportunity to look at that quote unquote evidence in front of you and decide, see, it's not working. It didn't work for me. I suck. Or decide, you know what? I created this. But if I created this, that also means that I'm a powerful manifester because I was doing those things that will create this result because of my thoughts, because of my beliefs, because of who I thought I was. So now I know that I'm going to be able to create a whole different version of my life because I see how powerful I am. I'm just going to decide to use that power for good instead of that power for not bad, but just meh, like a blah life, right? We're not using that power for that anymore. There's a fork in every single moment. And your identity has been reinforced over and over again by what you choose, by who you choose to be. It's like pushing a marble in sand. I say this to my clients a lot, pushing a marble in sand. It's going to keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Like that path is going to be deeper. You get to choose to take the other route, even though it's not the route that you've always taken. Okay. That is your option. And the thing is too, another thing I had today was that I was talking to a client and I was saying like mindset and identity are not the same thing. They're not the same thing because you may be listening to this whole thing and being like, yeah, but I believe in myself, kind of. Like I say that I'm a powerful person. I say that I am happy. I say like I'm kind of had good mindset. It's not the same thing. Those are not the same thing. You can have a positive mindset as well as be in an identity that's keeping you stuck. You can be someone who is genuinely happy and being like, oh, I think that you know, I think that this is going to be a great day. I think that this is, I may be able to find my client today. I don't know. I think maybe you can be in a really positive mood. You can be in a positive mindset, but you can also be doing that in an identity that is not who you're becoming. And so therefore you are happy. You are a happy person, but you're still not getting the results that you want. I hope that makes sense. You can say, I am abundant, but if you are constantly making decisions from scarcity, because that's what your identity says you are, it's not the words coming out of your mouth, but it's what your identity says you are, guess what? Your identity is going to overrule that every single time. Same thing of saying like, oh, I'm confident. I'm a confident woman. But then if you're saying you're a confident woman, but then your identity is saying, girl, no, you're not. And you are making sure that you get your feelings and you get your thoughts and you get your actions and all of that validated by everyone else outside of you except for yourself, your identity is saying otherwise, right? Or, the mindset of like, oh, well, I believe it's possible, maybe, for me to make 20K months. I'm going to have a positive mindset on that. But yet you're not acting as that person. You don't believe you're in the identity of that person yet. You believe that it's possible one day. Maybe you're in this positive mindset of like, possibly one day it could happen. I could do this. But yet you're not. Why? Because you're still hiding. You're still avoiding sales. You're still undercharging. You're still waiting for somebody else to tell you that you're ready because you're in this old identity still. Identity is always going to be running the show. That's identity running the show right now. Right now. Your identity is not just what you say about yourself, because I love I am affirmations. I do I am affirmations a lot. I do gratitude. I write down my gratitude a lot, all of that. I do I am affirmations. And that's amazing. I'm not saying those are horrible things, that it's a great thing. But your identity isn't just what you say about yourself. The identity isn't even just what you do. The identity is who you are. Who are you? Who are you? What are you capable of? That's the be. Like, and be, do, have. I'm sure you've heard of that. Be, do, have. Be is that identity part. Who are you? The identity of like taking the actions out of that identity of how you're making decisions and what you tolerate and what you expect and how you respond when things don't go your way and who you are when no one else is watching. But also just in the identity of like, who the hell are you? And what do you know is true about yourself? What do you know with absolute certainty is true about yourself? Even if you haven't seen it in the 3D world, even if you haven't seen it come to fruition right now in this moment, what do you know about yourself? And I think even just answering that question honestly would answer a lot for you. And don't bullshit yourself. Don't bullshit yourself. Don't say like, oh, I know that I'm capable of anything, when deep down inside you're like, I know that I want to be capable of anything, but I haven't seen the proof of that yet, so I don't actually believe it yet. Be totally honest with yourself, because if you bullshit yourself, you're not going to get any further. You're going to continue to stay in the same place because you are trying to pretend that you believe, that you trust yourself, and then you believe in yourself and all of this BS when you actually don't, right? So you need to be able to like, it's not just about changing your mindset. And I think that that's something that I'm realizing within myself going through this identity work, because I am a master certified life and mindset coach. I believe I said that at the beginning of this podcast. And so I dealt a lot with mindset. How do we shift the mindset? How do we say the opposite of that? But it's not just about saying the opposite of like, oh, I'm not successful, to I am successful. I'm not capable, to I am capable. It's not just about that. It's also about who you believe that you are when you're saying those things. You can think that you changed your mindset, but if your life your life hasn't changed because your identity hasn't changed. You have changed the thought without changing the woman behind the thought. You've changed the thought without changing the woman behind the thought. And the woman behind the thought is going to win every single time because that's who you actually believe that you are. That's different, right? Our mind, like who we are, is so expansive. I'm not going to get into all of it. Read The Greatest Secret if you want to. It's a little confusing, but like I said, it is super powerful. But it's like we believe that we are our thoughts. We believe that we are our mind. We believe that we are our actions and our body and all of that. But we're so much more than that. We're so much more than that. So by just simply saying like, I am powerful, but you don't actually believe it because you aren't fully in that identity of someone who actually is powerful before she even sees the results, you're never going to see the result of you being powerful or successful or whatever, boss bitch, whatever you want to be, right? So I want you to ask yourself, first of all, who are you? What's your identity? What is the identity that you're doing all of this stuff out of? But also, where are you putting your attention on? What am I putting my attention on? Ask yourself that question. What am I putting my attention on? Because what you consistently focus on, you're going to experience more of. You are like, that is what you consistently focus on is literally can tell you so much about your identity as well. So much about your identity. What are you putting your focus on? I can't do this. It's not possible for me. This isn't working. This never worked. I'm behind. I hear that a lot. I'm behind. What if nobody buys? I'm not good enough. That will tell you a lot about your identity. Because being honest, what does those questions, or those things that I just said, those statements, what kind of identity do you think that person has? Someone who is not capable, someone who does not see results on a regular basis. The identity of someone who isn't creating the life that they want to create, who isn't capable of doing so. That's that identity. We don't want to live in that identity. Are you paying attention to like the body that you're currently in? The fear, the discomfort, the uncertainty, the nervousness? Are you paying attention to all of the proof that you've gathered? Oh, I've never made that much money. I never tried this before. I don't know if I'd be good at that. I've never been good at it in the past. Nobody bought the last time. I'm not there yet. What are you paying attention to? Because what you pay attention to, you're going to keep like creating more of because your brain's going to try to find evidence of whatever story you give it. It's going to believe whatever story you keep feeding it over and over and over again. And that's why I love that Oscar-worthy performance thing with of what Rhonda Byrne said, because it's like it just makes so much sense to my brain. I'm not telling you to ignore reality. I don't want you to ignore reality. You can see exactly what's happening right here, right now in the present. But that is all happening because of things that you manifested. This moment was manifested based off of things that you've done in the past, yesterday, the day before. You get to choose to have a different future. You can't control what happened in the past. You can't even control what's happening necessarily right in this moment, outside of things that are in your control. But like things that are outside of your control, you can't control those things because, excuse me, because that's things that have happened in the past and they're now coming to fruition right now because of the way that you're showing up, the way that you're acting, the identity that you've held in the past. But now you get to change the future. But what you put your attention to is what is going to show you what the future is going to hold. Your brain is going to find evidence for whatever story you keep feeding it. So if you keep looking for proof that you're behind, you're going to find it. If you keep looking for proof that you're not capable, you're going to find it. If you keep looking for proof that you suck and you're awful and it's not working and nothing will ever work for you, you're going to find it. If you're looking for proof that you're never going to make money in your business, you're going to find it. Every single damn time. Every time. If you don't believe me, look at your past. What's the proof that you were actively trying to find? Not on purpose, but subconsciously. What's the proof that you've been trying to find? I guarantee you it's what you're creating right now. Again, not consciously, because consciously you're like, oh, well, I was trying to find that I was successful. Girl, but subconsciously, your brain was like, okay, look for all the proof that it's not possible for her and that she's not making money and that no one's looking at her stuff, blah, 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 like constantly. That's what's going to manifest right in this moment, right? So you don't have to believe every single thought that comes your way. You get to have almost this, like they said in the book, freedom of the mind. You don't have to believe every single thought that comes your way. You are human. You're going to doubt yourself. Even though we are all of the one, like you are human, you're going to doubt yourself. You're probably going to have fear. You're probably going to have moments of like, what the hell am I actually doing? What am I doing? I have these moments too, more often than I'd like to admit. But you don't have to believe every single thought that you have. And when you realize that your identity is running the show, you will realize that like, hey, those thoughts don't align to my next level identity anymore, and I need to change my identity, not just the thoughts that I'm having. I need to shift my identity into who I believe that I am, who I believe that who I'm becoming, right? Those thoughts, you can literally just ignore them. You can ignore your thoughts. Not always the easiest thing to do when you've never done it before, but you can ignore your thoughts. But when you're paying attention to those thoughts and you're paying real close attention, it's a little hard to ignore them. But when you realize that they're thoughts of like what your old identity is trying to creep back in and say, hey, girl, hey, long time no see, you can be like, hey, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to ignore those thoughts. I'm going to ignore the thoughts that this isn't going to work. I'm going to ignore the thoughts that this isn't possible for me. I'm going to ignore the thoughts that like I'm a crazy person for even trying to make money in a business because that doesn't align with who I'm becoming anymore. I'm not saying they won't come in. Just because you've decided that you're going to transform into this next level identity and you're going to embody her fully does not mean that your mind's not going to continue to work and try to get you to backtrack because that's what it's used to. You don't have to listen to it. You can ignore it. Okay? Oh my gosh. Okay. So that was the biggest thing. That's what I feel like is the biggest thing when it comes to what you're missing in your manifestation. Yeah, we can talk about action. And honestly, I was going to talk about action today, embodied action, talk about it a little bit more. Maybe I'll do that the next podcast because I feel like this is getting a little bit long, a little bit more in depth than what I had planned. But I just feel like really truly aligning to your identity and embodying that identity in the fullest way and knowing that like you always have the choice. You always have the choice of what identity you're going to follow, what fork in the road you're going to follow, what identity you're going to follow. And also, you have the choice of ignoring the thoughts that come your way, deciding that that thought does not align to you anymore, and you get to like be like, okay, you know what, that doesn't align to me anymore, that isn't who I'm becoming, and I know this is just my brain's way to tell me like, hey, this is scary, but I also know it's okay. I also know I'm going to be okay because I'm that girl, I'm that bitch, I'm becoming that woman. No, 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 I'm not becoming that woman. I am that woman that gets the results that she wants, and fully deeply believing that. And how you fully deeply believe that? Oscar worthy performance, my friends. Imagination, Oscar worthy performance, going all in on like those not even the thoughts, but just the identity of who you are. How would she show up? What would she do? What would she believe? How would she act? You can talk about thoughts there too. But as we said earlier, your mindset is not the same thing as like this identity. So identity is the biggest thing. And we can take the thoughts from that identity and transform into this next level life that you want to become. Okay. Okay. I rambled a lot. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope that this was very empowering for you. I hope that you found value out of this and you start really figuring out, who are you right now? Who are you? And I know that's probably a loaded question, but who are you? What identity are you working out of right now? Who is that identity? And do you want to stay her? Do you want to continue to create the results you've been creating right now? Or do you want to uplevel your life and create results of this next level boss bitch that you know you're meant to be? In whatever version of that is you, right? For me, it's like this successful woman who is so present with her family, but also makes a shit ton of money without really having to show up a whole lot. The less I work, the more money I make. That's my affirmation. That's what I am believing. That's the belief that I'm putting into my brain. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to continue to show up in the identity of that person. And whenever there's a thought that comes into my brain that says otherwise, I know that's my old identity starting to creep in. And I know that it's not just the thought that I need to rewire, it's that I need to just thank it, allow it to be there, be like, thanks so much for being there. I'm not going to believe you, but I see you, I hear you. On to the next one. Because I know that I get to choose to be her. I get to choose to be this next level woman. I get to choose to be whatever hell identity I want to be every single second. Every single second. So I hope that you do the same. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you loved this episode. Please share to your stories if you loved it with your biggest takeaway, or even just sending me a DM. I love to see when you guys are vibing with the podcast and continuing to see my podcast grow and reach more people, mostly women, I think, which is amazing. Love that for us. Reach more women and just make us be the amazing boss bitches that we deserve to be, that we were meant to be. Make a big impact on this freaking world. And that's what I want to do. I want to continue to up level and change my life so I can teach other women to do the same thing. So I'm actively doing this work right beside you. So I hope that you loved this episode. Please let me know if you did. Send me a DM and all of the things. But that is all. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next week.